Alright, for this video, we're going to talk about our series, or the runner glazes we have. For my bowl project, I've decided that I'm going to put a runner on it. From the top, I've chosen lavender gray as my runner, over top this royal blue base color. So what I've done is I've grabbed the R series lavender gray bucket out of the middle storeroom. You'll notice that the runners, or the R series, are smaller buckets. So make sure that you have and grab the right and the correct actual bucket as well. I grabbed a smaller whisk for a smaller bucket. And then I'm going to start whisking just like I would kind of that larger, or the really, really large kind of M, T, and G series. I'm going to start whisking, and you might have saw right away, this glaze has not been used in a while, so it's really, really, really stiff. But just after about 10 seconds of whisking and mixing, it's getting pretty liquidy or liquefied, which is fantastic. So don't panic if you open it up your glaze, R series, T series, G series, and it's really thick. You will, with just a little bit of mixing, be able to mix all that up. Okay? I'm going to take that. I'm still going to grab my rubber scraper. I'm still going to be scraping the sides, the bottom. Again, kind of forcefully mixing. One thing I do want to show you here is that if I scrape across the bottom, you can see that there's a little bit of kind of this chunky residue, almost that it's kind of just falling off. That's a great sign that your glaze is not mixed up well enough. Okay? You really don't want any of those chunks, any of those kind of that sediment that's down here. Okay? That's all the color, right? I consider that all the color. That's what makes the glaze work. Okay? And so making sure that we actually mix. And if you need to go back to the whisk and whisk a little bit more, you certainly can. I've done that. I'm good. I don't have any more sediment there. With our R series, okay, this is a glaze that we only put on the top, I would say inch or less. We don't go anything more than an inch, especially with something maybe as short as this. I probably want to only go about a half of an inch. Okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully grab my project, and my plan is to dip just almost to the edge of this lip. Right? I'm going to carefully hold it upside down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down into the glaze. I'm going to kind of work it around just a little bit, kind of almost that same count of 3, and then I'm going to bring it up and do kind of the same thing we did with our first dip. So I'm going to grab here. I'm going down in. Again, I'm kind of circulating just a little bit here, counting about 1, 2, 3. I take that glaze out. And again, just like with the glaze times, I'm kind of working it back and forth, rotating it, almost letting the glaze dry as I have it still in my hand. I'm then going to turn that upright, and just like with our other ones, you can see kind of those, that beading, right? And it's really heavy there, not really anywhere else, but that's okay, okay? We're okay with that. We're not going to try to fix it upright. We're going to try to just let that be, because that's going to help run and mix with our first base coat here. Okay? Again, I'm handling this as light and as little as possible. Okay? I'm going to then take this, store it back in my cubby, take and clean this bucket and supplies just like I did with our first dip, and we've completed our second R series dip.